The American West is full of stories, legends, and folklore. Anessa Olson of the Cumberland County Public Library invites you to the next Let's Talk About It book discussion series, exploring the American West, Who's West?
Let's Talk About It is a book club that meets every semester. It's a 5-book series in which we read 5 books on a particular subject. This spring's subject is exploring the American West, Who's West? Many of us are familiar with the legends of the American West. They're an important part of our culture, and we've all seen movies about cowboys and cavalry. And they're very exciting, and the legends are very interesting. But the reality is a lot more complicated than that. And so the books that we're going to be reading this spring are about aspects of the American West that are just as important as cowboys and rodeos, but are considerably less discussed. Most people know the legend of Robert Johnson, the blues guitarist who, according to legend, sold his soul to the devil to become the best guitarist who ever lived. In Reservation Blues, Sherman Alexie tells about what happens when Johnson comes to the Spokane Indian Reservation looking for help from a local medicine woman and accidentally leaves his guitar in the hands of local misfit Thomas Builds the Fire. Builds the Fire uses the guitar to build a reservation blues band that takes the Northwest by storm, and in so doing encounters many of the problems that Native Americans face today. On Gold Mountain by Lisa C. is an enthralling family saga that talks about another overlooked ethnic group in the American West, the Chinese immigrants. This memoir is actually based on stories that Lisa C. learned from her own family growing up. Her great-great-grandfather actually arrived in America in 1867 and earned a living providing herbal remedies to the other immigrants. Now, Lisa C. has gathered all of these family stories and compiled them into an enthralling family saga that spans the generations and discusses the immigrant experience in the American West. The Angle of Repose by Wallace Stegner is a Pulitzer Prize-winning novel of discovery, of self, of history, of place. It's about wheelchair-bound Lyman Ward, who sets out to chronicle the lives of his pioneer grandparents, and in so doing, discovers more than he likes about himself. It's a story of intertwined generations and the harsh realities of life in the West. The Last Refuge, the environmental showdown in the American West by Jim Robbins, is particularly relevant today due to the recent standoff in the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge. This is an incisive analysis of current economic and environmental realities in the American West. It is presented as a series of engrossing portraits of the people and places involved. Legacy of Conquest, the Unbroken Past of the American West by Patricia Nelson Limerick is a new interpretation of the familiar stories of adventure in the American West. She retells these stories from a different perspective, an economic one, suggesting that the trappers, traders, Indians, farmers, oilmen, and cowboys that we have all heard legends about were in fact businessmen searching to make a better life for themselves and their families. Let's Talk About It will be held at the headquarters library downtown. All of the events will be on Tuesday evenings at 6:30. The first will be on March 8th, followed by March 22nd, April 5th, April 19th, and May 3rd. As always, the Cumberland County Public Library has a wide variety of other programs for people of different interests all through the community. On March 12th, we're actually having a very large Scottish Heritage Day, which we were very excited about. We will have speakers on everything from history to kilt making, bagpipes, tartans, and even Highland games and miniature golf for the kids. be sure to come to Scottish Heritage Day on March 12th at the headquarters library. We also have a whole bunch of different computer courses and job and career courses. I would encourage you to check the events calendar to find out when and where these will be held. And we also have other classes of various interests, including a beginner's crash course in Spanish at 2 p.m. on March 19th at West Regional Library.